Guru Parampara. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has written this song, Krishna hoite catur-mukha. In this prayer, he has established the unbroken chain of all the great Vaishnava acharyas who have carried the unadulterated absolute truth down through the ages to the present day. These Vaishnavas have maintained the integrity of the bona fide Guru Parampara coming from the Lord himself, and have carried the requisite purity of heart and action to chant his pure holy names and distribute them throughout the world.
Krishna hoite catur-mukha, hoy Krishna sevan-mukha. Brahma hoite Naradera mati, Narada hoite Vyasa, Madhva kohe Vyasa dasa. Purna pragya padmana bhagati, Hari Madhava Vamshe Akshobhya Paramahamse Shishya Bodhi Angikara Kore Akshobhyera Shishya Jaya Tirtaname Parichaya Taradasye Jnana Sindhu Tore Taha hoite Daya Nidhi Taradasa Vidya Nidhi Rajendra hoido Taha Tahara Kinkora Jaya Dharma Name Parichaya Parampara Jano Balumate Jaya Dharma Dhyasye Kyati Shri Purushottama Jati Tahate Brahmanya Tirtha Suri Vyasa Tirtha Thara Dasa Lakshmi Pati Vyasa Dasa Tahate Madhavendra Puri Madhavendra Puri Bada Shishya Bada Shishvara Nityananda Shri Advaita Vibhu Ishvara Puri Ke Danya Korilen Shri Chaitanya Jagat Guru Gaura Mahaprabhu Mahaprabhu Shri Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahe Anya Rupanuga Jane Rajivana Vishvambara Priyankara Shri Swarupa Damodara Shri Goswami Rupa Sanatana Rupa Priya Mahajana Jiva Raghunatha Hana Tara Priya Kavi Krishna Dasa Krishna Dasa Priya Bhara Narottama Seva Para Prabhupada Vishwanatha Asha Vishwanatha Bhakta Sata Baladeva Jagannatha Tara Priya Shri Bhakti Vinoda Mahabhagavata Bara Shri Gora Kishora Bara Hari Bhajane Te Jaramoda Ihara Paramahamsa Gaurangera Nija Vamsha Tadera Charane Mamagati Tami Seva Udashina Namete Chidandi Dina Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Shri Varshabhanavi Bara Sada Sevya Seva Para Tahara Daita Dasanama Tara Pradhan Pracharako Shri Bhakti Vedanta Namo Patita Janete Toyadama. The translation of the song Krishna Hoite Catur-mukha, otherwise known as Guru Parampara. In the beginning of creation, the science of devotional service was received by the four-headed Brahma from the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Devarshi Narada's understanding of this divine science was obtained from Brahma. The great sage Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas, who was empowered to compile the Vedic literatures, became a disciple of Devarshi Narada. Shripad Madhvacharya, the founder of the Shrutadvaita school of Vedanta philosophy, who visited Vyasadeva at Badarik Ashram in the 13th century to learn from him Vedanta philosophy, calls himself a servant of Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas. Purna Pragya Tirtha, Madhva, is the guru and sole refuge of Padmanabha Tirtha. The two other principal disciples of Madhva are Nrhari Tirtha and Madhava Tirtha. Madhava Tirtha accepted the great Paramahamsa Akshobhya Tirtha as a disciple. The principal disciple of Akshobhya Tirtha was known as Jaya Tirtha. Jaya Tirtha's service was for his disciple, Jnana Sindhu. Dayanidhi received the science of devotional service from Jnana Sindhu, and the servant of Dayanidhi was Vidyanidhi, or Vidyadhiraja Tirtha. Rajendra Tirtha became a disciple of Vidyadhiraja Tirtha. Rajendra Tirtha's servant was known as Jayadharma, or Vijayadvaja Tirtha. In this way, you should properly understand this disciplic succession. The great sannyasi, Sri Purushottama Tirtha, received his knowledge in the service of his guru, Vijayadvaja Tirtha, Jayadharma. The principal disciple of Purushottama Tirtha was Subramanya Tirtha. His servant was the great Vyasa Tirtha, Vyasa Rai. Vyasa Tirtha's servant was Lakshmipati Tirtha, whose disciple was Madhavendra Puri Goswami. The chief disciple of Madhavendra Puri was Ishvara Puri, and two of his other disciples were the renowned incarnations of Godhead, Sri Nityananda and Advaita Acharya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the spiritual preceptor of all the worlds, made Ishvara Puri greatly fortunate by accepting him as his spiritual master. Mahaprabhu Sri Chaitanya is non-different from Sri Radha and Krishna, and is the very life of those Vaishnavas who follow Sri Rupa Goswami. Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami, Rupa Goswami, and Sanatan Goswami were the givers of great happiness to Vishvambara, Sri Chaitanya. The great souls Jiva Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami became very dear to Rupa Goswami. Jiva Goswami was a disciple of Rupa Goswami, and Raghunath Das Goswami, a disciple of Advaita Acharya's disciple Yadunandan Acharya, was accepted by Rupa and Sanatan as their third brother. Raghunath Das Goswami's beloved student was Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. Krishna Das Kaviraj was an intimate friend of Lokanath Goswami. They lived together in Vrindavan and always discussed the topics of Krishna with one another. Lokanath Goswami, a disciple of Gadadhar Pandit, had only one disciple, whose name was Narottam Das. Narottam Das was always engaged in the service of his guru, and he also engaged himself in the service of his guru's intimate friend. Thus he became very dear to Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. To serve the feet of Narottam Das Thakur was the only desire of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who was the fourth acharya in disciplic succession from Narottam Das. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was the Shiksha Guru, instructing spiritual master, of Baladev Vidyabhushana, to whom he taught the precepts of Srimad Bhagavatam. Jagannath Das Babaji was a very prominent acharya after Sri Baladev Vidyabhushana, and was the beloved Shiksha Guru of Sri Bhaktivinod Thakur. Bhaktivinod Thakur's intimate friend and associate was the eminent Maha Bhagavat Sri Gorakishore Das Babaji, whose sole joy was found in Hari Bhajan. These great saintly Vaishnavas are all Paramahamsas, or devotees of the highest order, and they are all part of Lord Gauranga's own spiritual family. Their holy feet are my refuge. I have no real interest in devotional service, and I am a poor and lowly Tridandi sannyasi named Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. The renowned Sri Varshabhanavi Dayita Das, the initiated name of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, is always engaged in the service of his spiritual master, Srila Gorakishore Das Babaji. His foremost disciple preacher is Sri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who has spread the message of Lord Chaitanya throughout the world and is thus a reservoir of mercy and compassion for all fallen souls.